the wintry conditions. There's a big crowd here tonight, and with the leaders Leicester attracting gates of over 20,000 and Leeds averaging even more in what's effectively the third division, you can see why the rest of the world is so envious of the state of English football. Everywhere you look at Ellen Road, there are reminders of Leeds United's glorious past, but once that whistle was blown, Dom, history counts for nothing.
Absolutely nothing. You're right. I've said before how hard it can be, or has been, for Leeds United when clubs have come here, really enjoyed playing in this wonderful arena, particularly at this level. Simon Grayson has seen that firsthand.
So we've got a big match feel to it, and we've got a Premier League referee for this League One fixture as well. Alan Wiley, the man in charge. Leeds United, after winning 3 games in a row, lost their last fixture against Walsall, and they had Tuesday's scheduled trip to Leyton Orient called off because of the weather. Here's Fassini, brought in on the right-hand side by Kenny Jackett. The Millwall manager has been forced into quite a few changes tonight due to injuries and suspension. Beckford gets his early touch and an early attempt on goal.
Many people would say that was ambitious, but we've seen him rifle him in from there before, haven't we? Quite get too much behind the power in that shot.
First test for the Leeds back four. Naylor, a very experienced player, captaining them now, the former Ipswich Town man, alongside Rui Marquez, the Angolan. Plenty of width with the likes of Robinson operating down the left, Snodgrass on the right, and a dangerous front two, of course, in Beckford and Lee Trundle, the maverick, whose skill and talent is never in doubt. No offside flag there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Carl Dickinson on that left-hand side was about 5 yards behind his fellow defenders. Could have been a very, very dangerous situation. Look, doesn't get anywhere near getting in line with the other 3. Fortunately for Leeds, that pass was overhit.
Dickinson, the left back, just 21, on loan from Stoke City, and he's played a handful of games in the Premier League for them this season. Pitch is pretty wet here and might cut up as the night wears on. Fassini failing to control that. Robinson with the interception. And he gets it in as well, dangerously. Whitbread stabs behind for the first corner.
Well, he gets a round of applause, Andy Robinson, not only from Lee Trundle but from Beckford as well. One thing in his mind, when he gets half a yard, he whips a brilliant ball into that near post. And Trundle isn't far away from getting on the end of that.
Naylor has come forward, and indeed Rui Marquez. It was Naylor's header.
Well, all the supporters on this side of the ground thought that was in because the net rippled. Didn't realise. Makes a really good run, Richard Naylor, and he's a threat in the air, there's no doubt about it. Gets up ahead of his marker, can't quite guide it on target. I think, to be fair to David Ford, he would have had that covered. It's a bright start by Leeds United.
Although he did have all those years, almost 15 seasons in fact, at Portman Road, Naylor was actually born here in Leeds. So he's back with his hometown club, who he supported as a boy. He could have given them lift-off. There's Robinson again, who played for Kenny Jackett, the opposition manager, when they were together at Swansea. Was that a back pass? That's certainly what the Leeds fans are claiming. Frampton takes it on.
I have to say, I wouldn't have been surprised if the referee would have blown up and given that as a back pass. I have to say, Frampton almost cushioned the ball back to his goalkeeper. Watch this, that's a touch, and the only query is whether it comes off his thigh. If it comes off his thigh, then it can't be a back pass.
Headed on by Martin. Alexander and McLeod, this new look front two, if you like, for Millwall. Bit of a surprise that Harris has been left on the substitutes bench, but Kenny Jackett opting for the extra pace of McLeod, the player who's currently on loan from Charlton Athletic. And here he is, and he certainly is quick, I can assure you.
It's a big night for him, isn't it? Never really got a chance to shine and prosper at Charlton Athletic. Would love to come here to Millwall and do really well, McLeod.
Keeper David Ford, Irishman, they signed last summer from Cardiff City, and he's played every game since. Away by Dickinson. Robinson sliding in, and so too Delph. The referee didn't like that challenge. He's given the free kick by the looks of it.
Well, it hasn't gone unnoticed on me that big Gary Alexander has planted himself on Rui Marquez. He obviously feels that he's got more of a chance of winning that aerial battle than if he was on Richard Naylor.
Adam Boulder and Dave Martin, the two Millwall men over the ball. Whitbread has gone forward for this free kick. It's gone beyond him though. Whoops! Well, that was interesting. It bounced right in front of the Danish international Ankergrund, and I think he expected the defender to get a touch here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think Kenny Jackett can be asking why is nobody going in and attacking that from a Millwall perspective. They would have had a tap in. Super ball in. Not very convincing defending, it has to be said.
Big favourite with the fans here, Kasper Ankergrund. He started the last few games. His longest run in the team this season. Being preferred to David Lucas at the moment. Lucas on the bench. Beckford the target for this through ball. A little bit of a push perhaps on Tony Craig.
Big job on, hasn't he, Tony Craig, the Millwall captain. Marking Beckford. He was a handful.
Craig's second spell at Millwall. He's really a left back, and they've got a lot of left-footed players in their back four tonight. Whether that's a good or a bad thing remains to be seen. It's unusual. Millwall lost 2-1 at home to Scunthorpe in their last game. And they should have followed that with another home game against Colchester, but that too was a victim of the weather. And on a decent run of form, just 2 defeats in their last 11 games. And they were, by the way, both against top 4 teams, Peterborough and Scunthorpe.
Oh, it's interesting, isn't it? So tight, this league, all the way through the top half of this table. It's interesting to see, actually, Leeds United have got a pretty poor record against teams in the top half of the table. They really are going to have to change that if they're to do well in the second half of the season in the running.
Boulder with a long ball. McLeod claims he was tripped and unable to get onto it. Ankergrund's clearance. Red battling to win it back for Millwall. Comes to McLeod. And once he gets going, he's difficult to stop. It was Delph who came back with the challenge. The new wonder kid here at Ellen Road. Already an England under-21 international at just 19 and being pursued by a host of top clubs. Whitbread just kept that in for Frampton. Then one back by Snodgrass. The long ball finds Beckford, who is unmarked and onside. Seemed a bit surprised. And the Millwall players are furious with the linesman on this side for not flagging.
I think everybody in the ground was surprised that the flag didn't go up there. Jermaine Beckford, does he time his run? He does, to absolute perfection. Let's give the assistant referee a lot of credit, because for all the world it looked as if he was well offside, but he doesn't take advantage of it. It's almost as if the ball holds up a little bit and he doesn't read the bounce.
And Delph didn't read the bounce that time either. In a way, however, to Hughes. The right back playing the 500th game of his career tonight, incidentally. He's represented 5 different clubs in his career. There's Robinson, the former Swansea man. Douglas, a Republic of Ireland international, wearing the number 4 for Leeds United. And it's broken here for Fassini. Rather a wasted effort.
He holds his hand up, not really sure what he was trying to do there, the young man. Last thing Millwall can afford is to give away possession cheaply here tonight.
Beckford and Hughes combining well, and it goes to Snodgrass, the 21-year-old Scottish player. Good with both feet, as he proved, getting that left-footed ball in. Fassini clears. Alexander will hold it up. He's a very good target man for Millwall. Ran out of space then, though.
And that's what they're going to need from Gary Alexander tonight. They're going to need the ball to stick up there with him, because there are going to be long periods of Leeds pressure, so it seems.
Millwall have an excellent defensive record, though. They have had problems scoring themselves. Only 37 goals. The lowest total, in fact, in the top half of the table. In fact, ironically, their leading goal scorer is a Leeds United player, Trezor Candle scored 8 goals when he was on loan to them earlier in the season. He's currently on loan at Charlton.
Well, he must be fairly pleased with the way his team have opened this game. He would have asked for them to keep the tempo really high, put Millwall under pressure, get them on the back foot. Certainly done that in the opening 10 minutes.
Robinson back to Dickinson. Whitbread happy to see that go out of play.
Of course, the one thing Kenny Jackett has had to contend with, we all know that Millwall's strength this season has been the fact that they've been really well organised and difficult to break down, but enforced changes just makes you wonder, doesn't it? 3 changes, whether or not that's going to upset the fluidity of that organisation. Time will tell.
Here's Whitbread, American-born player who began his career at Liverpool. Abdu in space and unmarked. Alexander in the middle and McLeod. Well, he could have picked out either. He picked out neither.
It's a poor effort, wasn't it? First time that Millwall in a really good position. Wasted.
Robinson taking Leeds United forward. Beckford. Well, he's never shy to have a go.
It's quite remarkable, isn't it? You can hear the moaning around the ground, but they've seen him smash goals in from that kind of distance. Really surprising. The crowd would be umming and ahhing at Jermaine Beckford having a shot from there.
Top scorer at Ellen Road, and the first Leeds player since the great Peter Lorimer of over 40 years ago to pass the 21 goal mark at this stage of the season.
Absolutely magnificent, isn't it? He had a superb season, Beckford, last season, getting 20 goals, already past that.
Tindall holding off the challenge and finding Hughes. Robinson. Dickinson overlapping, finds Douglas instead, and the referee saw that challenge by Fusini. Free kick.
It's 1 or 2 cheap free kicks being conceded by Millwall. Have to be really careful. That's allowing 2 big centre-halves from Leeds. Richard Naylor, one of them, to go forward. We've already seen how dangerous he can be in the air from these set pieces.
Naylor being very closely marked this time. And still managed to get something on it. Delph couldn't win it back. McLeod, that's clever. Fusini unmarked way over on the right as Rui Marquez brings him down and must be in danger of getting a caution.
Well, the Millwall players are surrounding Alan Wiley, saying he was the last man. I mean, that is so cynical. Absolutely has to get a yellow card for that. There's all kinds of stuff going on there. Millwall want him sent off. I don't think he was the last man. I think that would be harsh. It's not a clear goal-scoring opportunity. But he did have options out on his right-hand side where a couple of Millwall players were up in support. That's good refereeing, and I think that's the right decision. But that is very cynical. Great skill from McLeod. Knocks it, wants to use his pace. But for me, the referee cannot send a player off in that position. Very cynical. Very, very cynical. But the yellow card is the right decision.
It was a long, long way from goal, McLeod. Lovely bit of skill to get himself out in the open like that. Whitbread's free kick. Alexander coming in from the far side of the box. And that got a touch, I think, off a Leeds defender. It did. Corner's been given.
Well, everybody was walking back as if a goal kick was the right, even the Millwall players, so I'd be very surprised if it's not Gary Alexander's head that comes. I think it is. Flicks off the Millwall player, and they've got lucky. Can they take advantage of it?
Well, it felt hard done by the referee's decision moments earlier. Easy catch in the end for Ankergren. And Millwall have committed so many men upfield. There could be a break on here, led by Delph. Well played for Fusini.
It was important he got that challenge in. It was a real quick break, wasn't it?
Tindall's given it away. And Boulder almost lost possession to Delph. Looked a dangerous ball back, but Craig guiding it back to his keeper Ford.
Real action, isn't he? Fabian Delph tackles, throwing himself into the tackles.
There's Robinson. They're backing away dangerously and invited the shot.
be very, very careful when you do that. He is a quality player. You cannot afford to give him the time to pull the trigger like that. It's a poor effort by his own high standards.
He has scored half a dozen goals this season, Andy Robertson. He's the chief penalty taker here as well. Leeds have suffered just 4 defeats in their 18 League and Cup matches at Ellen Road this season, but 4 of their next 6 games are away, including a local derby against Huddersfield Town next Saturday. They've got a bit of work to do to catch up with those in the playoff positions, whereas Millwall have games in hand on everyone. They've only played 26. Some teams in this division have played 30. They've had a decent cup run, and they've also had postponements.
I'm going to wonder, as the games come thick and fast, whether that's going to help or hinder Millwall. Again, only time's going to tell.
Well, they haven't got the biggest squad, and they will be playing twice a week pretty much from now to the end of the season, as McLeod heads wide.
It'd be concerning from a Leeds perspective that McLeod's allowed to find so much room. He just drifts in front of the defender there. No one anywhere near him.
It's only his 5th appearance this, on loan from Charlton. He's a former England under-21 international who was a big success a couple of years ago at MK Dons. And that success earned him a big money move, I remember, to Charlton. Trundle showing his skill on the ball, getting his ankles tapped in the process. He just extended his loan by a further month, incidentally. He's with Bristol City. And they wanted him right the way through to the end of the season. They haven't been able to do that. I think that's Duffy who slid off. It is, making his debut. Just signed from Portsmouth, Welsh international.
He's under a lot of pressure from Andy Robinson. They're at it full tilt here. It's Robinson's foot, and he just can't stop himself. It's quite dangerous, isn't it, sometimes when there's that run-off area very close to the pitch.
Shown some decent away form, Millwall, this season. 6 wins, 2 draws on the road. And their only defeat in the last 4 away games was at Peterborough. Good atmosphere here. You have to remind yourself you're watching a League One fixture, pretty much as we did on Saturday when Leicester City and Oldham provided an excellent live game on Sky Sports. You were saying then, Don, that every other country must look in envy at clubs of this size and gates of this size for a 3rd-tier match.
Oh, it's quite remarkable, isn't it? We were at the MK Dons the other week and saying the same things, weren't we? And there are some terrific stadiums and some big clubs down in League One at the minute, all scrapping to get out of it.
None bigger than Leeds United, who've been champions of English football 3 times. The most recent 17 years ago now, in the final season before the Premier League was launched. There's Craig. And Martin on the left. Given away to Snodgrass, but won back well. Possible foul there by Naylor, and again McLeod appeals to the referee.
I just think he lost his footing a little bit. He turned really quickly. The ground gave way.
This has gone for a Millwall free kick.
Well, from a Millwall perspective, the tempo's just dropped a little bit in the last few minutes. Millwall will be pleased by that, and Kenny Jackett, because they were coming under quite a bit of pressure.
The press free kick aimed at Alexander, cleared by Naylor. And then rather wasted by Adu. The press header, McLeod. Older loses out. It's come back to Zach Whitbread. Over the top for Alexander, he'll never reach that.
McLeod was complaining, wasn't he? Richard Naylor seemed to come right through the back of him. The referee deemed he got the ball, and he is a referee that isn't noted for dishing cards out easily, Alan Wiley. Quite like that about him.
Douglas. And the referee saw that challenge, but it's a foul on Fusini.
As the ball breaks, isn't it? Dickinson again into the back of Fusini. Chance for Millwall to get some quality into that Leeds penalty area. We've got one or two big lads up there,
including Frampton, the left back, making his way forward for Duffy's free kick. Alexander went for it, and a little double deflection there could have had Leeds in trouble. Whitbread straight back in. Abdu stabbed it forward, away by Douglas. Here's Whitbread again. And Boulder, good spell this for Millwall. Fusini. Duffy. Boulder pointing to where he wanted teammates to go. Alexander, Duffy. Good interception, but Duffy was strong in the tackle.
I was just about to compliment Millwall. It was the first real bit of possession football. They kept the ball well, but they did turn down at least 2 opportunities to put the cross in the box there. And I think when you've got somebody like Gary Alexander in there, you need to be getting that ball into the penalty area when you can.
Millwall 6th in the table, but a win would put them just 4 points behind the automatic promotion places. Will still have a couple of games in hand on everyone around them in the table. Abdu. Boulder goes in. Frampton clears. McLeod with the turn, brought down by Naylor. McLeod is causing problems to the Leeds back four.
He is. He's always looking to turn, use his pace. Gets away from Naylor, who just clips him. It's 1 each for the Leeds centre-halves now, isn't it? Away with it though, Naylor, in terms of a yellow card.
Adam Boulder's quick free kick to Martin. Got plenty in the middle here, Millwall, and that could have been a tip. The goal one for the keeper, and somehow they've kept it out. Craig tried to force the rebound home, and Leeds have a free kick for the foul on Douglas, but they were mighty close to conceding.
Well, it's the first time David Martin has really got himself into the game and had a chance to run at the fullback. Brilliant wing play, stands a fantastic ball up, and he must think that that's over the line, and it's not over. It's good save from the goalkeeper, and he gets a bit of help from his defender. Ball looks as if it's going to spin over. It's spinning. It's Richard Naylor, the captain, gets there just in time. Millwall claiming it's over. I think when they see that, they're going to realise it's not. Certainly not all of it.
Gary Alexander so close to giving Millwall the lead.
It's magnificent wing play. David Martin, you can do that. You'd be saying, get the ball out there to him. As we said, get the crosses in, and Alexander will cause problems in the air.
Well, they come here with no fears at all, Millwall, and why should they have?
Well, I said they'd weathered the storm a little bit, and the tempo had dropped from a Leeds perspective, and Millwall are growing and growing into this game. He's still complaining to the assistant. He thinks it's over the line. Heads it down, and Ankergren gets a brilliant hand on that. And Richard Naylor is on hand to get the ball away. It did not go over the line.
He is leading scorer in this side, Gary Alexander, with 7 goals. Former Leighton Orient man whose career began at West Ham. And looking to use the pace of this side again. McLeod brought down, but no foul given. Cleared again by Naylor. Leeds are on the back foot at the moment. Good pace and rhythm to the game. Whitbread, Alexander, Fusini. Too far from McLeod, and then confidently chested back by Andy Hughes.
It's been a really good 5 minutes from Millwall. As I say, confidence grown. They've weathered the early storm. What do you say as an away manager? Let's get through the first 20 minutes, still intact. It's precisely what they've done, Millwall.
Millwall were second in the table just before Christmas, down to 6th now, 1 place and 5 points ahead of Leeds United with a couple of games in hand. And they're playing like a team who means business. Holder, Whitbread. On the way to Hughes. Oh, it's a poor ball. Fusini intercepts easily, and on to Alexander. Good tackle. Very important one by Rui Marquez.
Well, that's twice now. Rui Marquez has gone to ground, and every time I've just wait with bated breath. He has to time it perfectly. He's already on a yellow card. It's difficult conditions. Gambling when he slides in. Has to get it right. It's a really, really good challenge in the end. Timed to perfection. He only has to miss time one.
And some Leeds fans have likened him to Lucas Radebe, the hero here in the Premier League days. And Radebe, the South African, would have been proud of that challenge. It's Snodgrass. Just with either foot, the Scot. Delph. This is Dickinson. Robinson. Just done well. Can he get the cross in? Not this time. Ran straight into trouble in the form of Duffy. Alexander holding it up well again. That's good play. Whitbread at full stretch here, but it was fouled. And Beckford had better be careful. A very angry reaction from him that could easily have earned him a yellow card.
Well, I think Alan Wiley will tell him to calm down. It's just a tangle of legs. He's annoyed. Hasn't been able to get in the game for the last 10-15 minutes, has he? The big lead striker. Alan Wiley just doing a good job. Needs to calm him down, and that's what the referee's doing. Good refereeing.
Whitbread. Away by Douglas. Whitbread in again. It's broken kindly for Snodgrass. Couldn't quite pick out Beckford. Douglas might. He had other ideas. Delph. Didn't really look where he was playing it. Beckford. Martin. McLeod. And that came off the defender, Rui Marquez.
It's amazing, isn't it? David Martin out here on the left-hand side. That mazy run put the great cross in for Gary Alexander's goal line clearance, and since then he's grown in confidence. Every time he gets the ball, he looks like he can make something happen for Millwall.
Here's Fusini trying to make it happen on the right. Alexander with him. Duffy. Plenty in the box here as well, but the cross poor. Both teams really going for it here. Delph in acres of space in the middle. Trundle one side of him. Beckford the other. It's Luke Trundle he picks out. Beckford near the penalty spot, awaiting the cross. Which was disappointing when it finally came in. Hughes. Now Alexander from Millwall. Little nudge there from Naylor, but the referee saw nothing wrong.
It's a really open, entertaining game, isn't it? Both teams really going for it. At times it's getting a little stretched. Makes it exciting.
Certainly has been good value. Just coming up to the half-hour mark. Trundle showed for the throw, but it wasn't a very good one by Hughes. Rui Marquez pumping it forward. And then away by Martin. Naylor. Frampton deals with that quite comfortably. Andy Frampton, former Brentford fullback. Capable of a long throw. Picks out Alexander with that one. Away by Whitbread. Alexander doing well again. Boulder, McLeod, clever again from McLeod. Shown some lovely touches in this first half an hour. Boulder, Fusini, Abdu. Now Fusini crosses. Martin was coming in from the left and very nearly made a telling connection. Now he gets it back again. Martin actually scored when Millwall beat Leeds 3-1 at the New Den back in October. One of several former Crystal Palace players in this Millwall squad. Frampton. Duffy. And again from Boulder. Into the space for Abdu. Fusini. Duffy's cross was dangerous, taken down well by McLeod. Naylor got it away. There's Boulder. Fusini. And finally one back by Robinson, but Leeds have been under some pressure for the last few minutes. How can they turn that into a counter-attack with Snodgrass? And it goes to Jermaine Beckford. Once again he goes for goal, and this time he finds it with an absolute beauty. Well, this famous old stadium has seen some wonderful goals down the years, and that's right up there with the best.
I'll tell you what, the Leeds supporters aren't moaning about him shooting now, are they? We know that he's got this in the locker, and you're right, Leeds have been playing on the counter-attack. Millwall have forced them back and back, but once he gets you square, he cuts in. That is absolutely magnificent. I remember him scoring one very similar when he was on loan at Scunthorpe United. He's got this in the locker, so capable. He knows exactly what he wants to do, bend it into that far corner, and poor old David Ford can get absolutely nowhere near that. That is absolutely superb from Jermaine Beckford.
His 22nd goal of the season in all competitions, 9 coming in the last 9 games. What a record.
Not really been in the game, had he? They've dealt with him so well, Millwall. Boys, the two centre-halves have been playing really well. All of a sudden, one moment of magic, and Millwall, a little bit against the run of play, find themselves behind. That's how they react to that now. Cannot afford to let their heads drop. They've got to keep going.
Well, the chairman of Leeds, Ken Bates, says in his programme notes tonight, entertaining notes as always, that he's delighted to be able to hold on to Beckford and Delph. They're two great assets. He told the supporters that they wouldn't sell if they supported the club. You did, he says, and we did as well. You came up in your numbers, and we held on to those two.
Fabian Delph, a little late challenge, just getting a little ticking off from Alan Wiley. I guess probably saying to him, one more, and find yourself with a yellow card.
Chairman Bates is in Monaco at the moment, by the way. I think it might be just a shade warmer over there. Fusini forced into the corner. And Millwall forced to curse their luck. They certainly don't deserve to be a goal down.
Forced Leeds back, haven't they? Really had. But the thing about Leeds is they have got that pace. They've got Delph breaking from midfield. Of course, they've got Beckford up front. When you've got that, counter-attacking is a really good tactic.
Corner for Millwall.
It's the kind of response that Kenny Jackett would have hoped for. They certainly haven't let their heads drop. Right back up the pitch. Once again, asking questions of that Leeds United back four.
Whitbread is right on the goal line for this corner. Trying to block the view of the goalkeeper if he can get in front of him. It didn't bother the Dane one jot. Seen it all before.
Was there just catching practice. That's the second time that's happened from a Millwall corner. Kenny Jackett won't be happy with that kind of delivery.
Alexander was so close himself to scoring the opening goal of this game. Leeds were relegated from the Premier League 5 years ago. They then spent 3 seasons in the Championship before going down again to League One. Robinson comes out of the goal with a scramble and then didn't like the challenge from Boulder.
Players are getting involved. Leave the referee to do his job. That's all I'll say. It's late, of course it's late. Alan Wiley's got it all under control.
Yellow card for Adam Boulder.
And rightly so. Just put so much pressure on referees when players come charging in him, and that's a yellow card offence. Alan Wiley's dealt with it. Let's get on with it.
Always been known, Adam Boulder, as a no-nonsense sort of midfielder. He actually played in the Premier League for Derby a few years ago. And he's just joined Millwall after a dozen games on loan from Queen's Park Rangers. Away by Craig. Douglas slides in to win it back for Leeds. Decisive play then by Robinson. This is Hughes. Dickinson. Douglas. Tundle nipping in, but he was offside.
He's playing on the shoulder there. Trundle, not often you find him trying to get in behind defences. Just strays a couple of yards. It's a good decision again.
And it goes again to Alexander. I think he got a touch on that one. Cleared by Dickinson, not the best clearance. Fusini. Boulder. He's got his body between the ball and Douglas. Now Richard Duffy gets a second opportunity. Helped out by Fusini this time. That's a foul by Douglas.
It's a silly one. It's a really silly one. He should know better. He's more experienced. Millwall have looked dangerous from set pieces. Cannot do that. Really cheap free kick.
Republic of Ireland international Jonathan Douglas, who played in the Premier League for Blackburn. There's a little scramble going on before the free kick is delivered here. Whitbread trying to get on the end of it. Two went for the same ball, him and Craig, and it came off the Leeds man.
I think Tony Craig gets in Whitbread's way. I think Whitbread is going to just about knock that into the net there. It's easier. The blonde centre-half to get his head on that. It's a more difficult chance for Craig. We've got another chance.
Good delivery in these wet conditions can cause nightmares for the goalkeeper.
Telegraphed that, didn't he, Boulder?
As I mentioned, he's got a long throw, Andy Frampton, and there it is. Cleared by Delph, and as far as Duffy though. Whitbread. Well, what about that for a fixture? Brazil against Italy tomorrow night, live on Sky Sports 1 and in high definition from 7:30. And also on Sky Sports 2, if you prefer, you can watch the Republic of Ireland against Germany at under-21 level, again starting at 7:30. Whitbread's header. Boulder caught in possession. Trundle Whitbread got a foot to that, but he's diverted it straight to Beckford. On now to Robinson. 5 minutes to half-time. Leeds 1-0 up. Dickinson's cross, and it's come all the way through to Snodgrass on the back post. Now Hughes. Shoot is the order from the crowd. Oh, it could have gone anywhere. Skidding off the wet surface. Here's Alexander. It's good work by Delph to come and help his defenders out. Dickinson. Rossini slides in. It's been played at a terrific pace, this game. Naylor's clearance, not the best actually. McLeod almost nipped in. Hughes, Naylor again. Trundle, lovely control on the chest. Douglas looking for Beckford. Oh, very similar position to when he scored the goal.
Slightly different result. I'll tell you what, David Ford in the goal is going to be happy because he started to come out here. I thought Beckford was just going to chip it over him. He's a long way out. Wasn't quite aware, but he's already had his reward for one super strike. Look at his movement to get in behind there. And then he gets his chance one-on-one, and you always fancy him, but how about that? That's as good as it gets from there, bending the ball with power and accuracy. It's absolutely brilliant. Didn't he enjoy it? Absolutely. Let's have some more, thanks.
He was voted the best player in League One last season. And he must have a fair chance of picking up that award again, the way he started the season. 22 goals, remember. Frampton. Clearance dropped to Boulder. Training offside there, but it's not been given. Alexander swinging it in. Millwall still making a big contribution to this game, but they're leaving gaps.
Stretched, it's a really big pitch, and Leeds, we've already seen how quickly they can break.
Beckford has gone to the near post here, and he very nearly reached it. Corner.
I mean, Millwall have had warnings, haven't they? Yeah, if you give the ball away and allow Leeds to get possession, you better be prepared to get back quickly, because they are breaking really fast, Leeds United.
Holding strong. Robinson. It was a good effort, and it deflected it and had the goalkeeper furiously backpedaling.
Well, David Ford had absolutely no chance. If that dips on target, there isn't a goalkeeper in the world that saves that. It's really lucky, but look at the spin on that. Millwall can be thankful. Too much on it.
Douglas coming to the near post, but it's gone into Rui Marquez behind him. He's ended up on the deck, and Millwall have ended up clearing their lines. Martin breaking then, keeping the pressure on. Oh, that's a lovely bit of skill from the wonder kid Delph, who gets it back from Trundle and almost picked out Beckford. Lovely move, that.
We're seeing the whole show, aren't we, from Fabian Delph. We've seen tackles, we've seen commitment, we've seen skill. This team haven't done too much wrong, I have to say. They've shown that they're not out of this game by a long stretch.
Douglas. Cleared by Naylor. Awkward one for Whitbread. Hooked on by Abdu. This is Robinson for Leeds United. Dickinson. Beckford. And that's a foul. He's got to be careful, Boulder, on a yellow card.
The way he plays the game. It's a fine line, isn't it? Conditions getting really difficult out there. The rain's still coming down. The pitch is getting really heavy. People losing their footing.
2-minute stoppage time. Cassini. Blocked in then by Dickinson. Duffy. Douglas intercepts. And Beckford's offside here.
He's always looking to get in behind, isn't he? Clever movement. Well, he's not offside, is he? Been praising the officials. Very difficult, but he's got that one wrong.
Disappointing free kick, but Frampton's made something out of it. Cassini following it in. Abdu. Might need some help here. He did. And that was a late challenge, which has sent Robinson spinning.
The assistant referee is literally 3 or 4 yards away from that. Alan Wiley rightly going to have a word with him, I think. As this ball gets cleared by Andy Robinson, he leads with a forearm, does he? Just catches him on the side of the face. Not sure how much intention was involved there.
Yellow card for Ali Foussini, the 20-year-old.
He felt the full force of that, didn't he? Just goes to clear it, comes in, and it's that left elbow, isn't it? I don't think he means that, but certainly catches him. Still at it.
I don't think that argument's quite finished. Cleared by Whitbread. Abdu. And there's the half-time whistle. Well, it's a Premier League stadium. We've got a Premier League referee, and we've seen a goal of Premier League quality, scored by Jermaine Beckford. A superb curling effort high into the top corner of Millwall's net. Kenny Jackett's team might find themselves a little unlucky to be going off at half-time, 1 down, but that's the score. Leeds 1, Millwall 0.